Hi, everyone. Harry here to talk about the first standoff between the Trump administration and a federal district court judge who entered an injunction telling the Trump administration to unfreeze these huge impounded allocations of grant and aid, and the Trump administration failed to do it. So this is a lawsuit brought by state attorneys general, and it's under this effort by Trump to just basically ignore billions of dollars in allocated funds by Congress. And they just said, we're not doing more grant or aids. And 19, and now I think it's 22 attorneys general sued, and the Trump administration rescinded that order, but still seemed to be doing it anyway. The judge entered an order, no categorical freezing of funds here, guys. If you have something specific you want to try, fine. But this broad freezing is a likely constitutional violation. We've talked about this now. This is what the Trump administration does again and again. They just simply ignore appropriated funds by Congress. That is to say, they ignore statutes or legislation passed by Congress, which it's their fundamental constitutional duty to faithfully execute. Instead, they just say, no, we don't want to do it because it doesn't possibly accord with the new priorities of the Trump administration. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. And the federal judge in Rhode Island said it doesn't work that way, John McConnell, and he entered an order. And the AGs came back and said they are still withholding all kinds of funds here, billions of dollars. And the Trump administration came in and said, well, we're trying. We're making good faith efforts. It's a little hard to unwind. Yeah, no shit. When you do that kind of actual order illegally, unconstitutionally, really, it's just a violation of the separation of powers. It can be a little hard to unwind. But the judge, suspecting mischief, says, right now, and I'm not kidding, no categorical freezing of the sort you've done. Stop immediately. And he reiterates that. They said, well, we want to try to stop fraud. And the judge said, look, if you want to try to stop fraud, come to me with a particular fraud. But for now, you've entered this huge order. It's likely unconstitutional. The balance of equities are overwhelmingly with the plaintiffs. And we're talking about just the abrupt, comprehensive withdrawal of federal funding that so many people around the country completely depend on. On top of everything else, it's just cruel and nasty. But they did it. Then the AG sued. This is especially under a couple statutory programs that had been passed under Biden, the Inflation Reduction Act, Infrastructure Improvement Jobs Act, but also money earmarked for NIH, which the Trump administration has just tried to completely shave and say you can only do so much, 15% of overhead. And that's just not how it works. That overhead is always going to be more than that. And they are just, again, simply ignoring what Congress instructed. So they did it. They did it some more. The AGs came back and said, Judge, they're ignoring your order. The judge said, I wasn't kidding. No categorical orders. I don't buy the arguments you're making, and I'm entering a temporary restraining order. And to do it, I have to find that this is likely unconstitutional, what you've done, and the balance of equities are heavily on the side of the plaintiffs, which they are. Boom, it's back. So now the administration's choices are to comply or to just set up the kind of conflict that we've been worried that what J.D. Vance said over the weekend and other kinds of saber rattling might bring us to, which is just ignoring of a order by a federal district court judge. For now, they were in court. They tried to make arguments. They lost. And the judge today said, none of these categorical freezes. Unfreeze it right away so we can move to trial on whether it's unconstitutional, which, by the way, it probably is. So the kind of medicine the Trump administration very much doesn't want to take, but the law says it has to. So are they going to try to use this to engender a constitutional crisis? Stay tuned. But in the meantime, the district court judge has said, I wasn't kidding. Quit messing around. I am telling you to unfreeze these categorical orders and do it immediately. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.